we provide online through Blackboard. In terms of your assignments, which you will be submitting, not just in my course, perhaps in other courses, we do expect you to provide a PDF, right? So usually we in Blackboard, we provide a link whereby you can submit your assignment. And in terms of that assignment, it's usually in terms of PDF. And also as well, in terms of the lecture notes, assignment handouts, those are in the form of a PDF. So it's pretty important how that you are comfortable in working with Adobe Acrobat documents, PDF documents. Okay, so where we end up at last week, I had you guys create an account in MyLabIT. For those students who weren't able to do that, just stick around at the end of class and I'll help you out. I did receive 1 or 2 emails just requesting help, so I can do that at the end of class today. So we created an account in MyLabIT, and this was a little bit confusing for the people who were not at class last Wednesday. Instead of using an access code, I actually had you use the temporary 14-day access at the bottom of the page. All right, so 1 or 2 students had issues, and they indicated that to me by email. So we can create an account. I haven't provided any kind of access codes just yet. We're using this 14-day temporary access. We created ourselves an account in MyLabIT. We registered for my course, which is CAPT1432-01. Yes, yeah, Thomas, yes, only works for my class. I think your math teacher is using MyLabIT as well, but I think there's a math component. Yeah, this only works for my computer applications course. I'm not sure if he provides access codes for you. You have to talk to your math teacher, or you have to purchase those on your own. Okay. So everybody, or most people, I'm not going to say everybody, take that back. Most people would have created an account in MyLabIT. So we're going to log in. So you can go to, I believe, Pearson.com, MyLabIT. That is the link. Do recommend you guys create yourself a bookmark that, sign in. There's my course, computer applications. Right now I'm using a temporary access code, which is fine. I'm going to try to provide everybody with a permanent access code over the weekend. Click on this link to get into the site. In terms of course material, you can click on some of this material, some of these links, maybe course calendar or assignment calendar. This is not inclusive of everything we're doing this term. It's just in terms of Windows and Microsoft Office. But in terms of MyLabIT, all the assignments are on this calendar. So I did mention that we were going to start with Windows 10 first. So this week is Windows 10. Next week, we're going to start our MathCAD material. And pretty much week number 7, we go back to MyLabIT and Excel. Okay, so that's why you see a whole chunk of assignments missing in terms of this calendar. Okay, so let's just go back. How you can access the course material? Go to course material. Week number 1, it's really just the setup of your account. We did most of this last week, registering for MyLabIT. Setting up your computer, you don't have to worry about tech support. Where do I find, Arlie, where do I find MyLab on Blackboard? It is not on Blackboard, actually. So let me just go. I'll type this in the chat. So I believe it's pearson.com/mylabit. I think that's it. So give me 1 second. Going from memory is not the best thing. Just my lab. So here's the link right there. Okay, so you don't have to type HTTP, just W. I don't think you even need to type www. Pearson.com, my lab. It's now on Blackboard. I haven't linked it to Blackboard. My lab. Okay, and I'll put that in the chat. There, better. So create yourself a bookmark to that. Now will work fine. I need a course ID. Yeah, we did that last week. Jesse, I'll give that information to you again. So that's the, I'll type it in. CAPT1432-01. Okay. If you're still trying to create your account, I'll stick around at the end of the class. I can give you a hand then. Okay. Or you can try to do it if you want during this this class. Okay, so week number 2, that's what we're in, September 13th to September 19th. This is the information we're trying to cover. So in terms of MyLab IT, the material is provided in different forms. There are videos which you can watch. So this is week number 2. This is the material on Windows 10. And in terms of content, there are videos. So you click on this folder. Here's a bunch of videos which you can watch in terms of learning how to use Windows 10. Okay. I'm going to show you 3 ways. This I would not, unless you're really having problems, I would suggest perhaps not going to this extent. You can if you want to, but this is one way in which the information is provided through videos. Also as well, there's an e-text for this material. So this second link here, Office and Windows 10 e-text. If you click on that, provides you with an e-text of that material. Is this going to change with Windows 11? Caleb, I'm trying to figure out why you're asking that. We're using Windows 10 on our computers. Your laptops right now are Windows 10. Yeah. I'm just trying to understand that question. Eventually, they'll put a new version out whenever they put the Windows 11s up. Okay, but right now we're just working on Windows 10. So this is another form of how information is presented, e-text. The third way is through a simulation training. And I would recommend, if you're pressed for time, simulation training is part of the route to go. So I'll show you a video first, then I will go through some of the simulation training for Windows 10. So video forward. So simulation training. There's a YouTube video, and I'm just going to open this up. And I'm going to maximize this and start playing.
I'm going. In this video, I'm going to cover the Word Chapter 1 simulation training for Office 2016 in my IT lab. Here's the very first exercise that we'll
I think
start
this
with.
is the wrong video, actually.
And I'm using...
Give me one second. Backtrack. Here, that's the one I want. Don't know why.
I'm going to introduce you to the simulation activities in My Lab IT, so you'll know how to complete and submit them for a grade when you see them in your assignments. First, let's talk about what they are. Microsoft Office simulations place you into a fake Office application environment. So it will look like and feel like you are in an actual Office application, but you're really not. They allow you to practice Microsoft Office application skills and will recognize multiple methods of completion, meaning you could make a word bold using the application ribbon or by using the keyboard shortcut. There are two types of simulation activities: simulation training and simulation exam.
So in terms of your assignment this week, it will be in terms of the simulation training. Your quiz next Wednesday in 1 hour will be a simulation exam. And let me see, I'm trying to look at the chat if I can. Okay, let me keep on going. I think Anna sent me a chat.
The main differences are that the simulation training activities offer learning aids within the activity to help you complete tasks, as well as a save button to allow you to save the work to continue later, while the simulation exam does not. We will explore the learning aids later in this video. All simulation activities are web-based, so it's very important that you have a good internet connection the entire time you are completing a simulation assignment. Let's explore what you see in the simulation activities. I'll launch a simulation training activity first to walk you through the shared components of both activity types, and then look at the parts that are unique compared to the simulation exam. In the top part of your screen, notice it appears like you are in an Office application. You can move around the simulated environment and click through the ribbon, but just be careful when exploring, as clicking on some menu items will be counted as an attempt. When you click something that is not correct, an incorrect action will display, and the number of attempts remaining will count down. In the simulation dashboard, the instruction text box provides you the directions to complete the task. Above this, you can always see the number of points this question is worth and the specific activity tasks. Notice you can also change the size of the font if desired. In the simulation activities, you do not have to answer the questions in any specific order. You can move to the next or previous question using the navigation arrows, or jump around to any question using the View All feature. Clicking View All will show you the questions within the simulation along with the number of points each is worth and whether you have attempted or completed the question. You can jump to any question by choosing a question and clicking Launch. Keep track of your attempts remaining, which will show you how many mistakes you've made for each task. The Reset button allows you to begin the question again. For example, if you're completing a question with more than one task and you made a mistake in the first portion, you can reset to start over. The Accessibility button opens the player that can be used to read the text on the page aloud, as well as translate into other languages. The Virtual Keyboard offers another option to complete tasks. This is a great solution if you're working on a non-PC hardware such as a Mac computer. The status bar shows the strength of your internet connection. Remember, since simulations are all web-based, if your internet connection is not strong enough, there may be a lag in loading the questions. Now, let's explore the additional components you only will find in a simulation training activity. Save will allow you to save what you have completed and start up the simulation at another time. Note, if this is a timed simulation, The timer will continue, so be careful not to run out of time. Since the purpose of the training activity is to help you master the skills within an Office application before you're assessed on those skills, there are learning aids to help you when you're not sure how to complete a task. Let's look at each one. The Read Instructions opens the exact page within the e-text for that task where you will read how to complete the task within the book. Watch Video opens a short clip showing you how to complete the specific task. And Practice provides you with the step-by-step directions on how to complete the skill.
So if you're stuck in a specific task and you need additional help or hints to complete that task, what you can do, you could read the e-text, watch a video. But personally, I would recommend going through this practice option. Okay, so let's just watch that. And I'll do an example after this video with regards to this simulation training.
When the Practice Learning Aid launches, it will read to you what you need to do. Then you need to perform that task. It will then read the next task you need to complete. When you're finished completing the instructions, you'll be taken back into the training simulation. It is now your turn to perform the tasks. Now let's take a look and compare what you will see in a simulation exam. Notice all of the same items with the exception of no learning aids and no save button.
So next week when we have a quiz on this material, the format will be exactly the same. The only difference is that there'll be no learning aid features. So if you get stuck, you basically either have to guess or you have to go to the next question, or essentially try to do your best. There's no learning aid features. Also as well, I don't think there's a save for later button as well.
Now that you're familiar with the components of a simulation dashboard, let's walk through how to complete and submit. Read the instructions carefully. My Lab IT will allow you many different ways to complete a task and get it correct. If you run out of attempts in a training activity, the simulation will automatically ask you to launch the Practice Learning Aid. When you complete a task correctly, a message will appear saying, "Question complete," and the simulation will move to the next question. When you get to the last task in the simulation and get it correct, an alert box will appear. Click OK to submit the assignment. You will immediately see your score, total time spent on the simulation, how many attempts you've tried, date of the last attempt, and the status of the assignment. There are two ways to access and review your submission at any time: via course materials or the grade menu item. There's a lot of data collected from your attempts. If you are viewing a submission from the simulation training activity, you will see 4 main areas. The questions column provides the basic information for the activity, as well as your score, time to complete, and status. Methods to complete. This column shows you all the possible ways to complete the task. Actions taken. This shows your own clickstream data, what clicks you used during the simulation to complete the task.
So in terms of my IT lab, there's a number of different options in which you can complete a task. There's no one way which the program will accept it. There's a number of different alternatives, right? So if you're not sure what the program is accepting, this is one possibility, one spot where you can find it. Also as well, in terms of the program, it will actually record all your keyboard entries and all your mouse clicks, which you make during the simulation, as well as the test.
Notice that it breaks down each click with correct and incorrect indicators. If you got the task wrong, you can review to practice the correct method. If you're reviewing a simulation from a simulation exam activity, you will see only the questions and preview questions in the player columns. Now that you have explored simulation activities, you know what to expect, how to submit, and how to review your submission. Good luck!
Okay, so let me just stop that. There was one question from a student, and the student has created an account, but she's trying to get into the course actually. So let me see if I can do that. So account's been created. One particular question from a student, her account was created, but she's trying to log in, sign up for the course. So what you should do is this option here, enroll in the course. So if you have an account already created in Pearson, to enroll in my course pack, I can't remember the number, 80, I put it in the chat. Pack 41 982. This is where you enroll in the course. Okay. Mohammed, that is just for this week. So this week is a little bit, it's not the regular format, which I have set up for my IT lab. It's just for Windows 10. So I'll show you a typical week in a minute. So course material. So this week is week number 2. And this week, this assignment is Windows 10 simulation training. And one question was, how many times can I complete this? So in this course, for assignments, you can complete as many times as you want, right? So you can go through 7 different attempts if you want to. I will take your best mark out of the 7. Okay. That also applies for the typical week as well in terms of the greater assignments, which I will demonstrate in a couple of minutes. So it actually opened up in another window. So this is your Windows 10 assignment. So you got to be mindful. Let me just look at this. You have to be mindful. This blue outline is the simulation. These icons on the bottom, it's actually your laptop. Okay, so if you're pressing on icons down here, you're actually not in the simulation. You're actually in your laptop. And whatever you do here, it's not going to register in terms of your simulation. So this is part of your assignment. Your first question, there's 26 tasks in total. The first one is to sign into your Windows. And in terms of your account name is MyITLab user. Your password, MyITLab1234. Mohammed is, if you could put your questions. Alexandra, let me help you at the very end, and I will have you display your screen to me. Okay. Right now, I will have to backtrack a little bit. Is that okay? You stick to the very end, stick around at the end of the 2 hours, and I'll try to help you one-on-one with regards to sign in. I don't think it will take very long to solve your problem. Okay. So just be mindful in terms of my IT lab, your entries are usually case sensitive. So if these are lower caps, you have to type in lower caps. Don't type in caps for these. So my IT lab 1, 2, 3, 4. Either you can press enter or press this arrow key, advance. So that's the first question done. Now I'm on to the second question. Second questions in terms of what the program asks me to do, display the home page for the settings window. There's usually more than one way of doing this. One way of knowing how to do this, icon, setting. Next step, change the desktop icon to this picture butterfly JPEG located in the pictures folder. So where would I do that? I know what to do. If you know what to do, just go ahead and do it. So I know it's under personalizations. Personalizations. And it's in a specific folder called pictures. So I need to browse to it. So I'm in backgrounds, I'm trying to change the background to this butterfly JPEG, browse, and by default, it's in this pictures folder. So I'm in the right folder, just select butterfly JPEG, choose picture, recognize that selection. I finish that subtask, that little mini step into step 2. Now I just need to change the lock screen image to this Bahamas JPEG. The lock screen is right here. I need to browse to the picture under the pictures folder, browse. By default, I'm in this pictures folder. There's Bahamas. Choose. Team Bahamas. Don't know what that means. Close the settings window. Oh, now I get it. Okay, good stuff. In that case, you can provide your own pictures. Probably better than ones from MyLab IT. So to close the settings window, this is one way. Just click the settings. Question number 2 done. Question number 3. So at some point, you're not going to know what to do. You need some extra help. So that's where the learning aids come from. Okay. So learning aids. Press on this. On your quiz, you're not going to have this learning aids option available. You're expected to have went through all these exercises, this exercise this week prior to the test. You should know all this information for the quiz. So 3 options should be available. There's the e-text, there's the video. Personally, I like the practice option. So practice will show you step by step what you need to do. It'll show you to one step at a time. You follow the video step per step. Once the instructions are given, you're expected to try this on your own. So I need to use the search box on the taskbar to search for this image, shark.jpg. I need to open it from the results. Imagine I don't know what to do. I need some hints. Practice.
Click in the search box on the taskbar and type shark.jpg. From the results, click shark.jpg.
So now this is highlighted. It's telling me to go into this box and to type this shark.jpg. So that's what I'm going to do. So as I start typing, automatically showed me that file. Okay. So now what I can do, so let me just type it in, shark.jpg. Now I finish that. Now it goes to the next hint. From the results, click on this JPEG. JPEG opens. The hint is provided to me. Everything closes down. Now I'm expected to do that on my own. So now just do the same thing. So shark.jpg. This comes up. Click on it. This JPEG opens. So that little mini task is completed. Now I can do the next. So this is part of the third question. There's 26 of these. If you exceed 10 attempts, so the program allows you 10 attempts by default. If you exceed these 10 attempts, it goes to the learning practice, the learning aids practice option automatically It shows you those steps. Okay. At any time, if you want to stop and you want to continue this later, just press on save. So let's say right now, I'm a little bit pressed for time. I have another class. So press save. And the next time you go back in, or go back to that step. Oops. Right there. Okay, so step number 3. So it doesn't recognize that you completed this little mini task before. You have to start from the start of this question number 3. Not a big deal. Okay. Questions? Any question, guys? That's what you have to do this week. Okay, so this week, go through that simulation training assignment exercise, and your quiz will be very similar. Your typical week, Mohammed just asked a couple minutes ago, is not set up like this. So, stop. I clicked on something and something popped up on my window. Okay. So starting on week number 7, we get into Excel material. So again, in terms of the content of the information presented in forms of e-text, video, or simulation training. Okay. And in terms of assignments, excuse me, but Ricardo says, excuse me, but I don't have my lab IT. How do I get it? Ricardo, do you want to just stick around at the very end? And I'll help you set that up. Okay. I sort of went through this last week with the class to sort of sign up. So I don't mind helping you. Let's just do that at the end of the class. Is that okay? Okay. And if you could please don't type in all caps. Actually, that means you're shouting. Actually, all right? Okay. Nathan asks, is the assignment this week just Windows 10 or Office as well? It's just Windows 10. So don't worry about this stuff on week number 7. All I'm trying to do while I have you guys here in this 2 hours is show you what a typical week is like in my lab IT. That's why I made available week 7 actually. But this is not due until I think it's the end of October, November, actually. Okay. Good questions. So again, content is provided as an e-text, video, simulation training. In terms of the simulation training and the content, regards to this information, it really all depends how proficient you are in Excel. If you're fairly comfortable in Excel and you feel fairly confident, you can go right to the exercise. Right to the assignments. So in terms of the assignments for Excel, Word, and PowerPoint, they're in the form of what's called grader assignments. So grader assignments are basically a blank template. If you're in Excel, you're expected to download an Excel file. You're given an instruction file. And based on the steps in the instructions, you need to basically populate, modify your Excel file. So let me show you a video and then an example in a minute. So let's see. Again, YouTube video. I think there's about 5 minutes of this, which I'll show. If I can only start it. Not sure why that's not starting. Let's see. Here it goes. So my IT lab how to complete a greater activity for a student. And I'll start playing and maximize this.
I'm going to introduce you to greater activities in My Lab IT so you'll know how to start and submit them for a grade when you see them in your assignments. First, let me explain what greater activities are. Greater activities are assignments completed live in the actual Office application offline, then uploaded to My Lab IT for grading. There are 4 steps to complete a greater activity. 1. Download starting materials. 2. Work assignment on your computer. 3. Upload completed assignments. And 4. Submit assignment for grading. Let's start with step 1. Download all required files in order to complete the assignment. Every grader project will have at least 2 files you'll need to download, the instructions and starting document file. And there may be other files you'll need, such as image files, other text files, or data files. You can download the files individually using the download button next to each file name, or you can download one zip file that you can extract onto your computer. For this demo, I'll download each file individually. The most important thing to remember is to save the file to your computer. Do not open. I'll save the files to my desktop for easy retrieval. Step 2 in the grader project process is to work on the assignment offline. The first file you should open is the instructions file. I recommend printing them so you can easily refer to them as you work through the grader project. If you are not sure how to complete a task after reading the instructions, you should find that task within the book and read how to complete it. Open the Office application and complete the tasks outlining the instructions, and remember to save the document often while you are working on it. When you are finished, the third step is to go back into My Lab IT course to upload your completed file. When the upload is complete, a message will appear saying that your file has been uploaded successfully, but you still need to complete step 4 by clicking Submit for Grading to have the project graded. A confirmation that your file has been submitted for grading will appear, and your assignment will be graded within seconds. Now let's look at how you view your submission and the reports generated by your submission. If your instructor allows you multiple submissions, you can leverage the reports from earlier submissions to see what you got wrong and improve your grade.
So for grader assignments, when we get to this part of the course, you're allowed to, again, complete these assignments as many times as you want until you're satisfied with your marks. So let's say, for example, on your first attempt, your score was only 70%. You can resubmit that assignment. You can take your existing assignment, make modifications to it, correct the parts which were wrong, resubmit it, and get a better mark. So in terms of your final mark for that assignment for this course, I will take the higher of all your marks, the better mark of all your assignments. Okay, and that's true for all your grader assignments. So you can attempt it as many times as you want, and I will take the best mark of all those attempts.
To view your submission, navigate to the grader project, click on the little options menu, and choose View Submissions. You will initially be presented with the scorecard detail and score summary, showing how many points you have earned, as well as the maximum points possible. The score you earned appears as a percent at the top of the score summary. Scroll through the report to see the points earned for each step of the assignment. The red areas indicate where you lost points, and each incorrect step has a red drop down so you can view the details of what you got incorrect on each step and the number of points deducted. For ease of review, you can also filter by the steps that were scored incorrectly only. In the score summary, you can download the file you submitted and review either a live comment report for Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, or a mocked-up report for Access. The live comment report allows you to view your submission live with the comments embedded, just like if your instructor reviewed and manually added feedback for you. This is an important report to view because it provides comments within the document exactly where the task was wrong. If your instructor allows multiple submissions, you can use the document you completed for the first attempt to make corrections. There is no need to download a new starting document. Now,
So they're going to talk about Microsoft Access. We don't cover Microsoft Access in this course. So I'm just going to stop the video at this point. So that last point, which the YouTube video commented on, you don't need to restart your entire project, right? Your entire assignment. All you need to do, you need to just make corrections on the steps which you had wrong. And after you make those corrections, resubmit it to my IT Lab, and hopefully you will get a better mark. So let me close that down. Questions? Comments? I'll show you an example in 1 minute. Any questions out there? How you guys doing? Okay. So that's why this is, if you look at the teaching and learning plan, where is my teaching and learning plan? Typically, once we get into the Windows material, that's why these 2-hour periods are optional. Because in terms of Excel, like for example, I will assign you the information, assign you the assignments, the greater assignments which you need to do. Then, either you can come in if you need additional help, but you can work on these on your own time. Okay? Usually the week after, in the 1-hour class, there's a quiz on that same material. For Excel, Word, and PowerPoint, the quizzes will be the same, and they will be in the form of greater assignments. Does that answer your question? Okay, so let me do one of these quickly. So information provided, text form, video form, simulation training. I recommend simulation training. That's my first go-to. I'm very proficient in Excel. So I'm going to start this first assignment. First step, download the material. Each one of these files, just save it on your desktop. Sorry, save it on your laptop. Download, save. Download, save. You can also download all the files at once. One thing to be aware of is that your download files will be in the zip file. Don't work inside the zip file. If you do, all your work will be lost. Once you exit the program, in this case Excel, once you exit Excel, it doesn't save your work inside the zip file. You have to extract your zip file first, then work on the extracted files. Feldman, what do you mean by in class? Like in person or still on Blackboard Collaborate? I'm trying to understand your question, Feldman. You can turn on your speaker one. Turn on your audio. Mohammed, question? Hand raised?
Yeah, from where should I download all these files?
You don't have to do it this week. This is
Okay.
for week number 7. So I'm just showing you this now because I basically have everybody here for these 2 hours. Because once we come to week 7, those periods are optional, right? So some students may show up, some people may not. So I'd rather I show you this now, so we get that out of the way.
Oh,
When we
okay.
get to number 7, then you can do it.
Okay, thanks you.
So you click on each one of these greater assignments, download, and I just download it. And if you download each one of those one at a time, they would have been saved in my downloads folder. Jesse, I'll provide the access codes over the weekend. There are some classes which are in person, Ka. If you look at the teaching learning plan, all the ones highlighted in red, pretty much I want you to show up for. So next week, when we start the MathCAD training, MathCAD is not on in my lab IT. I need to do it in person. No, Daniel, not 100%. So the only thing which is online, the Office applications, Windows 10, Microsoft Office 365, Excel, Word, PowerPoint. Those are in my lab IT. MathCAD is in person. Okay, so in terms of my teaching learning plan, anything in red, you should attend. Anything in yellow, most likely optional. Okay. Files were downloaded, 1, 2, 3, 4. I recommend you organize yourself. You just don't leave everything either in your desktop or in the downloads. So what I like to do is I like to create folders for all my courses. So I have a folder for this course, which I'm teaching for computer apps for this 2021 fall term. And in terms of these assignments, you could, if you want, but I'm going to create a folder for that as well. Stay organized. Otherwise, if you just dump everything on your desktop or in downloads, you're going to get overwhelmed at some point. You're going to be searching for information, for files, and it's going to take you a long time to find. So demo, dump all my files here. So instruction file. For the assignment, here's my instructions. I'm going to open that up. Came up on my second screen. Let's see. So here are my instructions. Okay, for this one assignment. So for 0 points, open up this file which you downloaded. Excel 1E Geo. It added a prefix with my username to it, but it's pretty much this file. Open that up in Excel. This is essentially the template file which you need to work with. Next step in terms of instructions. Change the workbook theme to WISP. If it's not on your computer, it would have been downloaded in terms of the download files from my lab IT. So I know how to do this, so I'm going to do it. So the way I do this, page layout, themes, there's WISP. So now the theme for this spreadsheet, worksheet has been changed to WISP. Next step, in B3, use the fill handle to fill the month May and June to range C3, D3. So I want to put May and June here. This is called a fill handle. I click on this, drag it across. This is not my first time doing this. Pretty much every term for the last 6 or 7 years I've been doing this. So I know what I'm doing. If you don't know, get some of the course content in My Lab IT, either through the simulation exercises, the videos, or the e-text. Okay, so let's see. Merge A1 to F1, apply the title cell style. So I can do that. A1, F1, I think it says merge and center actually. Merge and center. Merge and center home tab, merge and center is right here. Merge and center. Basically combines all those cells into one, centers this text. Mohammed.
Yeah, I just have a question about MathCAD. So
Yeah.
it will be in person, right?
Yeah, I'll be delivering
but-
that material starting next Monday.
Yeah, but we all scheduled as this semester as online classes. So we supposed like to be on online classes.
Yeah, in person being on Collaborate.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm gonna meet you next Monday at 1:30 online through Collaborate, and I'll deliver that information to you through Collaborate.
Oh, okay, okay, thank you.
Just like I'm doing now, in person. That's what I mean by in person, as opposed to being on My Lab IT. Okay. Okay. So in terms of title cell style, here it is. So let me save it. I didn't complete everything, but I'm going to submit what I've just completed to My Lab IT for marking. So to upload my assignment, upload completed assignment. It's not completed. I did what I can. There it is, the file right there under this folder. Point to it, press upload, and to get it marked, you have to press submit for grading. Press enter. So there's my mark for that assignment. I only did about 2 steps. Okay, I definitely didn't finish the whole thing. I only got 14% on that. I can open up the marking scheme on that assignment. The way I do that, view submissions. Click on the submission. And this is the marking scheme. So this first step opening, that was worth 0 marks. Second step, I completed 100%. I got 4 marks out of 4. Third step, I got 6 out of 6. Chase, I would leave this until later on in the term. Okay, Chase? If you do it, you can do it now if you want, but the quiz on this material isn't until like week 8, which is like after the break. You're gonna most likely have to redo this. So ideally, if you have time, if you want to, do it during the midterm break. Okay? So for this step number 4, I only did it partially. I only got part of the marks. If you expand on this, I'll show you where the deductions were taken. Okay, so if I wanted to improve on this assignment, I don't need to start from scratch. I can take this existing file. I can take the feedback from this marking and I can go back into that Excel file and just make corrections on that Excel file. Once I do that, I can resubmit that revised Excel file to my lab IT, hopefully for a better mark. Okay, that's an option available to you. You can do this as many times as you want to achieve a better mark. But with each one of those attempts, you do not need to start from scratch. You could ideally take your existing file and just modify it. There's some cases where there's so much wrong, what you submitted originally, that you had to start from scratch. In those cases, maybe start with a blank file. But in most cases, you can take your submission, make your corrections, improve on it, resubmit it to my IT lab for a better mark. One more thing, then I'll take a break. Then we'll come back and talk about Adobe Acrobat. So that is for your typical week. Really starts in about week number 7 when we get back into my lab IT after week 2 for Excel, Word, and PowerPoint. Your assignments will be informed, which I showed you, these grader assignments. So I want to be upfront with everybody. Okay, I don't want to try to hide anything from you guys. In terms of these files which you download, electronically, they're marked with a student marker. So each student in this class, they have their own personal My Lab IT account. Each file which they download has a marker linked to that account. So, for example, if I was, say, to work on a file downloaded from my account, and I have a buddy in this class, and he perhaps is a little bit stretched for time, he doesn't have enough time to complete the assignments for this week. He asked me, Wayne, can you give me your assignments so I can submit it on my account for marks? My answer to you is don't do that. Reason why is because if you give that student, your friend, your completed assignments, when he submits those assignments to his account, it'll flag me, message the instructor, saying that in terms of your buddy, he didn't submit files which originated from his account. He basically took somebody else's and submitted it's his own. Okay? So don't do that. Each file which you download are marked throughout the file with student markers. And it's not just in one spot. It's throughout your assignment in a number of spots. Even if you take a chunk of somebody else's file and copy and paste that into your own, it'll give a message to me warning me that this has occurred. If that's the case, then I need to have an uncomfortable discussion with yourself and the student from which that file originated from. That's a case of academic misconduct. Okay? Not a pleasant thing to do, and it basically happens every term. And I want to try to avoid this term. And that's why I'm trying to be upfront with you guys. Questions? Comments? So once we get to those grader assignments, work on the files which you download. Don't take somebody else's work, copy and paste it into yours, because it's going to tell me, the instructor, that you did that. Yes, it is. Kyle, yes, it is. And I have to give both yourself and whoever that material originated from a 0. Then we're going to have a uncomfortable talk. Okay? And usually the first offense, it's a 0 for both students, and it goes on your record, actually. You can use it as a guide, but you cannot copy and paste stuff from their file into yours. You can use it for comparison. So one thing I didn't show you, maybe I should have. This doesn't happen 100%, but for some assignments, it provides this. There's actually, these are the 4 files which I downloaded for this one assignment. One of those files is actually a JPEG of what your completed assignment should look like. That's what it should look like. So in terms of your completed assignment, no, I didn't complete it 100%. You need to change some of the colors, some of the centering. Yeah, this is what it looked like. It should look like. Okay. This doesn't occur. I don't think this occurs for the test, but for the assignments, this is provided, I think. How's everybody doing? That's pretty much it. I do want to take a break. Let you guys take a break for 10 minutes. There are some help options. So if you need some help in regards to this program, probably best to just contact me. But there is this help icon on the top right corner in My Lab ID. And it brings up a number of different options in My Lab ID. Okay, let's take a break. Let's come back. Let's come back at about 2:43, let's say. Break until 2:43. And we'll restart. We're just going to get restarted in about a half a minute or so. And I do see myself finishing my material for today. So as per my teaching learning plan, the Wednesday this week will be an optional period. So if you need help in regards to my lab IT, then you come in on that on the Wednesday as well. Let's see what time we have. So for this second half of the class, I'm going to give you an overview, give you a demonstration of how to use Adobe Acrobat actually. Maybe some of these features I already know. Yeah, this material on Adobe Acrobat, you're not going to be tested on this. There's no homework assignment on this. And Chase, you're right. The assignment for this week is just completing that simulation training exercise in week number 2 in my lab IT. Okay, 2:43, time to start. As I mentioned, the reason why I'm giving this demo is because in terms of the information, the lecture notes, the assignment handouts, they are in the form of PDF documents. And we do expect you, not just for my course, for other courses as well, as part of your submission to provide PDF documents as your submission. Just as a background, in terms of PDF documents, PDF stands for Portable Document Format, which was created by Adobe Acrobat in the 1990s. And the reason why is to allow documents to be created and presented in a way which are independent of the hardware, application, and operating system. Okay, so PDFs can be opened on Mac computers as well as PCs, and really doesn't depend on your hardware or your software application. And these are two main reasons why I'm going through this, is because in terms of lecture materials, they will be provided in terms of PDFs. Your assignments, there will be a link for you guys to load up your finished assignments in terms of, most likely in terms of a PDF document. I'm not going to go through this because we already went through this last day, but Adobe Acrobat 20 can be installed using Apps Anywhere. Oh, thank you. Yeah, somebody just put a note for me. I need to record this lecture. So that's what I just did. Thank you very much. Adobe Acrobat Reader DC. I think Pro may not be the same as DC, actually, Mohammed. I think the version, if you downloaded this, installed it through Apps Anywhere, it's Adobe Acrobat 20 or it's the Pro version. There is a difference. I don't think you can manipulate slides. You can't reorder them. You can't insert. You can't delete. You can probably just read. So you don't have some of the features, which I'm going to talk about today. Okay, so on that note, you should probably install Adobe Acrobat 20 from Apps Anywhere. And that, okay. So once you access Apps Anywhere, install Adobe Creative Cloud, then Adobe Acrobat 20 in that order. And we did this last week, so I'm not going to do it again. Okay, do what you can. So I was talking to a couple of students, and I'm not 100% sure that some of you students out there know how to save a PDF document on your computer. So that's my first step. So let's say I have my course, and this is computer applications. Some of this information in terms of lecture notes already been provided in terms of PDF. So last week's PowerPoints are on PDF. Okay, so let me just go through this. But when I open up Adobe Acrobat, though, it says Adobe Acrobat Pro DC. Are you guys seeing this, though? Adobe Acrobat Pro DC. It's the Pro version. Okay, then you're good. You need the Pro version. I'm not a computer guy. I used to be more computer savvy than I am now. The technology's changed so much since I was in university. Okay, so whatever. So Adobe Acrobat Pro DC, I don't know what the difference, if they're the same thing as Adobe Acrobat 20. Okay, so when I open that up, it should be Adobe Acrobat Pro. Okay. So downloading programs. So this is from Firefox right now. Click on the file. In terms of this file, right now this is opening in Firefox as a separate tab. What you want to do is actually download this PDF. It should be there. It should be there, Mohammed. So let me go back to my screen. I took the screenshot from Apps Anywhere. So don't pick categories. Go to the main upper level. And on this was a couple of weeks ago, actually. So maybe they changed it a little bit. But on the very right, Adobe Creative Cloud, Adobe Acrobat 20. So let me see what Paul said. So on the icon, it's called Adobe Acrobat. Oh, did they change it? So Paul is telling me this is now called something different. Is that right, Paul? So on the icon, it calls in Adobe Acrobat DC, but inside the program, it shows Adobe Acrobat Pro. Adobe Acrobat Pro is the version you need in the end. Okay, that's the version that should be running. The Pro version is good. And again, I'm not a computer guy. I don't know what the difference between 20 and Pro is. Okay. Okay. So opens up my PDF document as a tab in Firefox. To download it in Firefox, this is the icon you use. So download gives you two options. Either you can open or save. I'm going to save it. Most likely you want to save. In Chrome, it's pretty much the same thing. So this is in Chrome, document, week 1. To open the document, just click on it. In Chrome, it opens up this PDF as a tab. I just ignore this open in Acrobat at this point. Okay. I'm going to download it into my computer. So in Chrome, this is the download icon. So click on this. A pop-up window opens, allows you to spec where to save this file to. So there it is right there. You can just save it wherever you want. Again, I recommend you guys set up some folders in your computer. Ideally, one for each course, which you have this term at Niagara College. Otherwise, again, if you just dump everything onto your downloads folder or desktop, it's just going to be too overwhelming at some point for you. Okay? Okay. Got it. I installed it. Yeah, I'm not sure what you did at this point, actually, Mohammed. Okay, so program's been saved. Let me see. Let me look at my stuff. Okay, so once it's been saved, if you have Adobe Acrobat installed in computers, to open it, just click on it. Okay. And it should automatically open in Adobe Acrobat Pro DC version. At some point, you're going to have to create a PDF document. So for example, if you were asked to submit for Mr. Mortabito one of your estimating assignments, most likely he wants a printout of your Excel spreadsheet. So in each one of these applications, and this is true for most applications, whether it's Excel, Word, or PowerPoint, you can actually create a printout of this spreadsheet, in this case, in Excel, as a PDF. It's actually really easy to do. The way you do it, you go to Files, just as you were to print out a hard copy of this spreadsheet to a printer, you do the same thing. You go to Files, Print, under Printer Options, expand on that. So at home right now, I have a printer. It's a Brothers printer, but also as well, you can see there's Adobe PDF, which I can spec as the printer driver. So if you spec this, in terms of your printout, it will actually print your, in this case, Excel spreadsheet as a PDF. This is not the only PDF driver which you have. Also as well, there's this other option, Microsoft Print to PDF. Also as well, I believe PDF Report Writer will work as well as a printer driver, and it will print your document as a PDF. So for example, I'm going to spec Adobe PDF as my printer driver, press print. The program asked me where I want to put this printout to. I'm going to print it up to downloads right now. Okay, so now, Hernan, I'm using one of the laptops that was provided at Niagara College program. Do I have to install the Adobe program? Yes, you do actually. Hernan, Adobe Acrobat is not pre-installed on your computer. So as I said, and we actually did this last week, you have to go to Apps Anywhere, install first in Apps Anywhere Adobe Creative Cloud, followed by this icon, Adobe Acrobat Training. Okay, that's what you need to do. So if you want, you can watch my video from last week, and we sort of did this last week as well, in the last 10 minutes. Did that help you? Okay, where was I? So I printed this Excel to a PDF. Trying to see. I didn't yet. I thought it did. Where did it go? Print, Adobe, PDF, print, save. Where did it go? That is bad. That is bad. Okay, let me try the other printer drivers. Don't know why that's not printing. I was trying with PowerPoint earlier and did print the PowerPoint from PowerPoint. Excel sheet. 30p. There. I don't know why I didn't print. There it is. So I used a different printer driver. Okay. You can use any one you want. There's 3 options which you can use. So right now I'm using that second one, Microsoft PDF that works as well. Ricardo, I'm international student. I'm not in Canada. I don't have the laptop that the school gives. You can install apps anywhere on your personal computer as well, Ricardo. You don't have to be on your laptop at the college. You can install apps anywhere, pretty much on any personal PC. Okay. You do want to perhaps run Splashtop for AutoCAD. That's one program you probably want to run on your computer, which is set aside for you at the college on Splashtop. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Sidetracked there a little bit. Trying to get myself back on focus. So 3 different options in terms of printer drivers. I got to look that up. MND. Actually, I think there's instructions. I have to go through that. Yeah, it's Splashtop. That's what you need to use. So Adobe PDF driver, Microsoft Print to PDF, or PDF report writer. With some software, there is also Save as Adobe PDF. Let me see. I think Excel does this one. So Save as Adobe PDF. That is another option which you can use as well. And that will save your spreadsheet in a PDF format. With very large files, keep this in mind. It could take some time to print that PDF. So it's not instantaneous, right? So with very large files, perhaps some MathCAD files and AutoCAD files, it usually takes perhaps 20 seconds for that PDF to be created. And as you saw just a minute ago, sometimes I get an error and it doesn't tell me, especially with this, what I demonstrated in terms of this Adobe PDF driver. One useful feature which you have in terms of Adobe Acrobat is this search feature. So in terms of search, you could do a find within a PDF document. So let's say, example, I was trying to find my lab in terms of this document. A number of different ways in which you can do it. One is through the tabs and options through the tab. So edit, find, and there allows you to type in your entry. So my lab, for example. So if you were trying to search through a PDF document for an answer, perhaps for a quiz, this is one quick way. Okay. So that again is edit and find. Pop-up window occurs. Then you can just advance using next or previous to go to the different spots within your document with this one search phrase. Also as well, there's a shortcut for this, which is Control plus F on your keyboard. The other search feature is called an advanced search. I don't use advanced search that often, but in terms of the advanced search, it allows you to search for through a number of PDFs through a folder. So instead of just searching through this one particular file, as long as the files, the PDF files are in one folder, I could do a simultaneous search through all of them. The way you spec your folder, you just click on this and just basically direct and browse to the location on your laptop for that folder. So for example, if I was trying to find in my folder, computer, laptop, this PC, on my hard drive, which is C. If I was trying to search all the PDFs for this course, for this term, There I go. And you can spec whether you want to search for the whole word, you want to make this case sensitive, whether you want to include bookmarks and comments as well. Okay. I hardly use this, but this is another option which is available to you. Okay, what else? Search, we just talked about. Also as well, within Adobe Acrobat Pro, so this is only available, I believe, in the Pro version, you can resort, insert, and delete pages from your PDF document. So in this document from my week 1, I can reorganize the order of the pages. I can insert new pages into this PDF document. I can extract pages and delete pages as well. The way you can do this is through Tools. So using this Tools tab, then the icon, the feature which you want to use is Organized. Organize pages. So in terms of the screen, which appears in Adobe Acrobat, this is basically a schematic layout of my PDF document. So let's say, in terms of the order of the pages, I want this page 3 and 4 to occur before page 1. I can easily reorder this. So the way you do this, I want pages 3 and 4 before page 1. All you need to do, select your pages. So Adobe Acrobat PDF, it's the same as any Office application. You can use your mouse cursor in combination with Shift key on your keyboard and Control to select multiple entries. So right now I'm pressing Shift, keeping my Shift key on my keyboard pressed, selecting pages 3 and 4. It allows me to highlight both these pages. Then I can then drag both these pages to the location where I want to place, in terms of this PDF, these 2 pages. So again, select your page and just drag it to the right location. That's how you can do a resort. If you want to delete pages from your PDF, it's very simple as well. Again, you select your pages. It could be 1 or a number of different pages in your PDF. To delete your pages, either you can press delete, the delete key on your keyboard, or you could use this trash bin icon at the top. So both these pages are selected. Press this garbage can icon. Both these pages are gone. All I have to do first is confirm I actually want to delete it from this document. Okay. I can insert pages into this document. So basically, insert, I'm taking pages from another file and putting them into this PDF. So for example, let's say there's pages from this document. This was a number of scans which I took from one of my other classes, and I want to basically insert these PDF pages to the end of this file. So the way you can do that, press insert, different options. It could be from a scanner, another option is from file. So I'm going to say from file. Point to the PDF pages you want to insert, open, then a pop-up box appears. This allows you to specify where you want to place those pages, whether it's before a certain page, after a certain page, whether that is a certain page number within this document. So it doesn't have to be at the very first page where this insertion is or the very last. It could be anywhere within the document. So I'm going to insert my new pages at the very end of the document. So after the last page. So there's my new pages, and these came from a separate file. Okay, that's one way of doing an insert. Another thing you can do as well, you can extract pages from this PDF. So let's say I want to just extract this. I'm going to move this around actually. I'm going to extract this first page as a new file by itself. Very easy to do using Acrobat Pro DC. Select the pages you want to extract, press extract. Number of different options occurs at the very top. Delete pages after extracting. So basically it says after extract it from the spot, it's going to delete this page. If I don't select this, it's going to leave this page in my original file. Second option, extract pages as separate files. So let's have more than one page selected. If I select this, this first page will be created as one file. This second page will be created as a second file. If I don't have this selected, we will create both, extract both these pages as one single file. So let's just try. So both these pages selected. This is not selected. So it's going to extract both this first and second page as a single file. So there it is. There it should be. Let me see. Yeah, so page 1, page 2. Opened as a separate new tab within Adobe Acrobat. Almost there. Okay. Combining files. So to combine multiple PDFs into a single PDF, the easiest way of doing this, there are probably a number of different ways of doing this, is in terms of your file explorer. So in your laptop, along your taskbar, this icon, this application is called the File Explorer. Allows you to create folders, select files, to go inside a directory to see what's there. So inside the File Explorer, highlight and select the files you want to combine in terms of a PDF. Right-click on those files. And one of the options which you can see pop up is this third one. Combine files in Acrobat. So now if you select this third option, there's my first PDF file. There's my second PDF file. In terms of these files, they haven't been combined yet. So let me close some of this down. Nope, don't save and don't save. So in terms of these files, they haven't been combined yet. So to combine them, just press this combine button at the very top right. There you go. And both files, my two files, have been combined. And if you want, by default, it's creating this as a called binder file. And depending on how many of these you have opened in terms of combined files, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so on. What you can do is that you can save and rename it. So right now, these files have been combined in Adobe, but they haven't been saved. I think there's about 6 pages, 3 in each file. The combined file is 6. So now, for me, I need to save this somewhere. So save as, and you can save it anywhere in your computer. Almost there. Combined PDF file. Okay. Almost there. Last feature I'm going to show you for Adobe Acrobat Pro is the commenting feature. So in terms of commenting feature, this is the icon for it. Along the very right, this little icon here is your comment. Once you press this, these options are available to you at the very top. So this one in the very left allows you to add a sticky note within your PDF document. So for example, if I select this, click it within my PDF document, you can, this is my sticky note, and I could put some comment in here regards to that sticky note. This is the first page. Also as well, in terms of commenting, you can highlight if you want the text. So for example, the second icon, highlight text, select it, and in your PDF document, just drag across. Okay. You can choose the color of your highlight. So if this is selected, this option appears. This allows you to select whether your highlight is blue, yellow, orange, pink, purple, whatever your heart desires. I can underline. So again, right now this is an image. So let's just change this to a text. Let's just do that. Hopefully. Okay. So underline. Here. And again, I could change the color of the underline, where it's green, blue, or yellow. I'm not going to talk about the strike through. I don't think I'm going to talk about this add note to replace text, insert text its cursor. Next one I'll talk about is add text comment. So it's add text comment. Pretty much allows you to type in text at the location of the cursor. And as you're typing, you can see there's this pop-up box which clears, allows you to change the font of your text. So let's say you want to change this to a different text type. Arial is good. Let's change the size. Let's change the color. Not too hard. Also as well, allows you this option to add a text box. Almost the same as this, but it will insert a text box whereby you can type in your text. Again, there's options regards to the font, type, size, and color. This icon here, this drawing tool, allows you to draw freehand in your PDF. There's this erasing icon, which allows you to erase freehand additions within PDF. I think it does also for your highlight as well, actually. Not sure it does the underline. Doesn't do the underline. Last thing which I want to point out is this drawing tool option right here. So this option right there allows you to draw straight lines, arrows, rectangles, ovals, circles, clouds, etc., etc. So let's say I want to draw a rectangle. Let me do that again. Draw rectangle. So click and drag with your mouse to change the color of that rectangle. You can change actually the line type along the outside, which is the border, as well as the fill color as well. So let me look at this. So fill. Let me try to do this. So fill. Okay. So fill, yellow. I changed this fill from a white to a yellow. You could change this to blue, whatever your heart's content. Border, you could do the same thing. So if I click outside, this is actually a red border. I can change that. Border, let's change it to a blue. And the line type, I believe, in terms of thickness, there's your option for that right there. So I can change that from 1 point to a thicker line if I want to. At any time, if you want to delete these, very easy to do. Just select with your mouse and press delete on your keyboard. So select, press delete with your keyboard. I think that applies for underline. Oh, let me do this. Text box, these texts as well. I'm not sure about the underline. I'm not sure the underline will delete the text as well. I'm not going to do that. Questions, comments? That's my overview of Adobe Acrobat Pro. It's not all encompassing. There's probably some features. I'm sure there's features I haven't explained, but definitely this is enough to get you guys started, to get you guys going and using the PDF Adobe Acrobat in your courses. Yes, it was actually. I'll post that on week 1 is already posted online. Today's, I'll post it after class actually. Okay, probably wait until the end of the day, but that will be available. Yanesh, where you can find these, under course document, link to past online video classes, there is week number 1. After class today, I'll post week number 2. Any question, guys? That's all the material I have for today. Nathan, let me read your question. Do we need to read up on the, Nathan, do we need to read up on the office notes on My Lab IT this week, or do we do that next week? You need to complete that training simulation by Wednesday before the 1-hour class, because we will have a quiz on that information in the 1-hour class. I would go through the simulation training first, and if you're finding that there's not enough information there, then you can look at the e-text and you can watch the videos. Ricardo, yes, in the first class, I talked about how to create the My Lab IT. Arlie, it shouldn't say that. So let me see your screen after class. Mohammed, yes, you should get started. And the latest you should do that assignment, that first assignment, is before the quiz next Wednesday. Yes, I can. Monzer. Okay. So everybody else, unless you have a problem, you have a question, today's class, we are done. And unless you have any questions, unless you have some problems you're finding with MIT Lab, Wednesday's class is actually optional because I did cover all the material which I want to do in this class today, and I don't need the Wednesday. Okay, so I'll stick around a little bit in case you have questions. Otherwise, have yourself a good week. And I'll look through the chat and see what I missed. Simulation training, how do I get to that? Monsieur, to get to that, you need to log into Pearson MyLab IT. So there's my login page. There's different ways in which you can find this link. One way was it pearson.com / MyLab actually. Sign in. Depending on how many courses you're enrolled in, you should at least see this. Computer Apps 1432 Fall 2021. Click on this. Oh, I'll go to student mode. So course material. You're not going to see some of these icons. So I logged in as an instructor. I don't think you see grades actually. Okay. Oh, here we go. So week number 2. Presently, we are in week 2 of your 14-week course or program in Niagara College for the first term. So week number 2. And there's your Windows 10 simulation training. And to make sure there's no confusion, I put this in brackets, parentheses, assignment. Let me look at the chat. I see a little pop, pop, pop. That's all the work you have to do this week. Oh, yeah, I think you're okay. In terms of that question, Adobe Creative Cloud Desktop did not launch for me, but Adobe Acrobat 20 worked. I think you're okay. I have the same problems actually. Same for you, Arlie. For some reason, IT didn't get back to me. I still come up with an error in Adobe Creative Cloud. Where's that error? I did this one or this one? Yeah, that's the error which I get. And you've probably seen the same. Oh. It didn't say expire on my end. Is your Adobe Acrobat working properly, Arlie? And is it the Pro version? Or is it just a reader? You should try to get the Pro version working eventually. So when you run it, it should say at the very top, once it launches your document, Adobe Acrobat Pro PC. I'll try to help you out as much as I can. At some point, I'm going to have to direct you to IT because those are the guys in charge of the computer. Then that's good. Arlie, that is good, if that is the one which is working. Adid Rahman. Is that what's working for you? The Adobe Acrobat Pro PC. Are you running this on your own PC? Are you running this on your laptop? You running this on your home computer? The school one. So you picked up a school laptop, is that correct? Yes. So you need to be running. So let me see. Let me close. Close. Oh, I don't know. Don't know if this is going to work. You need to be running apps anywhere. You need to get apps anywhere running on your computer. And so these are the notes which I have under week number 2. In terms of the link for Apps Anywhere, there's your link. Okay. appsnc.niagaracollege.ca. This will launch Apps Anywhere. There's a video. If you look on this course documents, link to past online videos. There's that link to Apps Anywhere portal. There's a video which you can watch to help you install Apps Anywhere. So again, course documents, links to past online videos, week 1. Video here, there's your link to Apps Anywhere. And once you have Apps Anywhere running, you logged into Apps Anywhere, install Adobe Creative Cloud first, followed by Adobe Acrobat 20.0. Anybody else with questions? Don't be shy. I know Hernan had a question. Yes. So what I'm going to do, Hernan, sir, thanks, sir. Okay, you're welcome. I'm going to make you a presenter. Have a great day, Monsieur. I'm going to make yourself a presenter, and then you can share your screen with me, actually. So if you open Blackboard Collaborate, on the very bottom towards the right, actually third icon from the right is share content. One of those options is the share application, share screen. You probably want to share screen. And just make sure anything you don't want displayed, just close it before you allow that, because everybody else who's still in the room are going to be able to see that. And I think I stopped my application. You're not seeing my application anymore, my screen anymore. Just checking. Does anybody else have questions in the room other than Hernan? Just put in the chat. Just keeping an eye on the chat. The number of students are decreasing in the room, which is good. But I still see about 4 of you guys. Jesse, Jason, and Anton, Aaron. Hernan, oh, there you go. Not whiteboard. Thank you. Have yourself a good week there, Jesse. Not whiteboard, but screen. So let me see here. Share application screen. Second one from the top. And hopefully you don't have just one monitor. Otherwise, we'll see screen within screen. Hernan, hands raised. Question. You can turn on your mic. There's only about 4 of us left in this room.
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, so I can see the options here, but when I click share application and screen, it doesn't let me to share.
Shit. Oh,
Like I see 3 different options. There's an entire screen, Windows, and Chrome tab. And
so
I
do you
click.
see share application dash screen? When I go to share content,
Share application screen, yes.
yes.
So I went right in the right at the bottom where the chat is, and then I clicked the option where it said share.
Share which application screen?
Yes. So right at the bottom where the chat is, so there is like an arrow. And
Yeah,
then
I see it.
And there is this option there. There is a share application screen, and then it is a share camera.
So you're going to choose share application slash screen.
Okay, perfect. So I just click there, and I can see your camera there. I can see.
And which browser are you running? Are you running Firefox or
Chrome? I am Chrome.
So under entire screen,
okay,
are you running one monitor or 2?
Like I am in my laptop right now.
Okay, I'll see what happens. But now you need to basically use your mouse.
Okay.
And select your screen 1. So with your mouse,
okay, perfect.
Click on screen 1 and then share.
Okay.
You got to select your screen. So this is the problem. I see screen within screen.
Okay, I see multiple screens there.
Yeah, it's because you're running one monitor. To get around this, I use I'm using a dual screen actually. I'm using a laptop and a monitor. The other option, share applications. Let's see if I can share applications. So let's try. So stop what you're doing. Stop that sharing.
Okay.
Choose share application screen.
Screen. Okay.
So what are you trying to get me to solve, Hernan? Is it what problem are we trying to solve again? Just to be clear, I'm just trying to remember.
So like I had I think I create my my lab account because it says that I created, and then I'm trying to sign in, and it says connection. It said connection error. There was a problem connecting to the server.
Okay, so press in terms of the option, go to the very right. You see Chrome tab. So it allows you to show entire screen, window, or Chrome tab. So choose Chrome tab. Then now it should show you all the available tabs within your Chrome browser. So click one of those.
So which one should I Pearson? Okay.
I would think so.
Yeah, Pearson. There is a lot of different. I'm gonna share Pearson just to see if it works.
So I can see your login screen. You probably want to hide that because I can see the password.
And I just realized that.
So check as sign in. So right now, Username is usually your email account. Let me just think out. Let me just check.
Okay.
I'll check because I should be able to check on my end for Pearson. So let me check who else in the line.
I think I think I have everything correct. I remember everything that I did and how I signed. I signed up. I pretty much used the same username and everything, and they did allow me to it. So like it shouldn't be any problem for getting any like misspelling my username. Like I think it's right, and even my password is right as well.
Yeah, something is not working. So either your username or your password is wrong. So that's my first initial guess. So let me check now. Let me open up my IT lab. I'm going to go in as an instructor. I'm going to check your username. I don't think I have access to your password, but I can check your username. Holy crap. What the hell? Let's see, give me 1 second. Oops, that's coordinator course. And this one here. Oops. Let me see. 57 unpaid. Hernan F. Yes, I don't see you haven't registered in my course actually. I don't see you as a student in my course.
Really?
You haven't registered in my course yet, right? Hernan?
No, I don't think that I haven't got to the auction. So I went to this like right here. That's how like I usually go to it. So I start right here.
Okay, so could you let me just ask. I see two other guys in the room, so let me just ask if they need help first, because I'm going to ask them to sign off, because otherwise I'm going to ask you to create a new account, and they're going to see a lot of your information. Okay, so let me ask. Aran, Bertrand, do you guys need help? Yeah, I'll post the videos after class. It'll probably be end of the day. Okay. So if you want to wait until the end of the day, under course documents at the very top, I'll post the links to the class this week. Okay, not a problem. Yeah, not a problem. And Anran, do you have any questions? Otherwise, if I don't hear anything, I'm going to boot him off. I'm going to try to boot him off. He may just step away from his computer.